All right, fellas, this will be the Week 11 recap video. So jumping into the GOAT and the WOT here. The GOAT for this week was Kerr. He had a great game out of Dak Prescott, and then Nico Collins and CeeDee Lamb also had solid games. And the big get was obviously Sean Tucker, 34 points for the Buccaneers on Sunday. And the WOT for this week, back-to-back WOT appearances, was Joe's team. 62 total points, only 3 points from the quarterback. Not much to say here, just a bad performance from Joe's team. He'll be looking to rebound, but back-to-back weeks as the WOT is notable. In that first matchup, looking at the matchup results, Mahomes Magic Show takes down TaylorMade for my team, 2 defensive touchdowns for the Steelers, but an overall down week for my team. For Alex's team, 50 points from Josh Allen, still taking a loss in this one. The rest of his lineup just didn't do very much. He did have Jonathan Taylor on bye, so he'll be looking to get back to his regular ways moving forward, but just a down week there for Alex's team. In that second matchup, Team Eliadarani takes down Maga Kitchens. Tedero McMillan with, in my opinion, his best game as a pro, 34 points. Then Trey McBride also had a really big game with the Cardinals. I believe Jacoby Brissett set the completion record all time in a game. I think I saw it on Twitter, but just crazy game script again for the Cardinals. Solid performance from Grayson's team. And from Maga Kitchens, Lamar had a terrible game against the Browns. A lot of it wasn't necessarily his fault. He had, I believe, 2 tipped interceptions, but just not the Lamar Jackson that we would expect. And then also something, probably a good thing for Cal's team, Bijan Robinson. Stock probably went up with the Drake London injury. So Bijan Robinson's probably the number one receiving option and running option for the Falcons moving forward. In that third matchup, I've given up takes down the greatest ever, already touched on Kerr's team, but for Sam's team, scoring over 100 again, just not enough to bring home a win, especially against the GOAT for this week. Had a nice game there out of George Pickens, but just not enough for a win. In the fourth matchup, Colt 45s takes down Lisan Al-Gaib. For Colt, 2 great games out of his running backs. He did deal with another quarterback injury, though, Aaron Rodgers getting hurt. That adds with Jaden Daniels' injuries. He's had quite a few quarterback problems this year, but did have Tyler Warren on bye, so Colts should continue to keep scoring a solid amount of points week to week. In that fifth matchup there at the bottom, Big Papa takes down IHOP Challenge. Not the greatest week for either of those teams, but enough for Clus to take home the win. Kamani Vidal only had 3 points in that big Chargers loss, and then obviously touched on the Drake London injury. A little bit, that is a big hit for Clus's team. And then for Tim's team, not a single player in Tim's lineup outperformed their projection. So just a bad week there for Tim's team. Taking a quick look at the standings, 2 games separate first and 9th place. So many different ways this season could break. It's the tightest I can remember this league being this late into the season. The only other notable thing here to talk about is that Sam has officially locked up last place with 1 win and only 3 games to go. Looking at the waivers, I want to give a shout out to Kerr for picking up Sean Tucker last week. I didn't mention it, but ended up being a big hit for his team this past week. And then this week, Clus lands Emmanuel Wilson with Josh Jacobs likely missing this week. So another potential big pickup down the line here was, I noticed Kerr snagged Chris Rodriguez Jr., who's the Commanders' running back 1 at this point. So could be useful in the playoffs. And for the upcoming matchups, all these games, again, just with how tight the league is, are big. If I did my math right, there are going to be a guaranteed minimum of 4 teams with 7 wins after this week, and a guaranteed 7 teams with 6 wins after this week. So basically what I'm saying here is, if you have 5 wins right now, this is a must-win for you this week if you want to make the playoffs. So the only other thing I wanted to mention is next week with Thanksgiving, I'm going to be in Indiana for the week. So I don't expect to be able to make power rankings on Friday. So I don't think there's going to be a final power rankings video, but I should be able to get the recap video for next week up Tuesday night before I fly out Wednesday morning. So that is all I have for this recap video. Thank you, guys.
What happened?